Well, it's been a year since publishing Spawning Fish Tales on Substack, and I'd like to take an opportunity to speak to you directly using a video format, which is something that Substack seems to be favoring these days, which is odd given the fact that Substack has started and always has been a platform for writers. But first, I want to thank you for being here with me, whether you've been a subscriber from the start or whether you've recently started reading Spawning Fish Tales. I want to thank you. Thank you for being here with me. And it's been a year since I published Diving In an Introduction and introduced myself and explained particularly about the fears of publishing my writing and putting myself out there, the fears of acceptance, whether you'll like my writing or whether you won't, and taking that chance anyway. That's been a growth-producing exercise for me, which was part of my desire to do this. And in that year, I've gained some insight and some more skillful responses to those untruths of those fears, including skipping a week and the fear of the fact that if I missed publishing something on a given Saturday, that you wouldn't return and read what I have the following week. And that's proved to be false as well. So that's been really insightful for me to reach those discoveries about acknowledging that those fears really didn't have much weight. And it's kept me going and inspiring me to keep writing. And, the writing of the Spawning Fish Tales has been a project to help me grow and develop my discipline to keep writing something. It kind of has taken me back to my days in radio, where one of my jobs was to write radio ad content. And sometimes I'd have 3 or 4 ads to write and get produced that day. And it forces you to be as good and creative as you can and not be attached to constantly trying to revise it, which is often a trap in being creative. Is you never put it out there because you're constantly improving it or polishing it. And that trap sometimes keeps people, and I know it's kept me sometimes, from actually putting something out there. Most of my life, I've been producing content for clients and telling their stories. And now these are my tales. This is coming from my imagination. So this process of writing Spawning Fish Tales has been a process of finding my voice, refining my style, and distilling the topics that interest me. And I'm starting to find some themes and repeating patterns in what I'm coming up with. And maybe you find them, and you found them as well. And if so, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you're seeing in those patterns. But most importantly, too, this is and has been a collaborative effort. Even though it's my name on the byline, I really have to give out some thanks to a longtime friend and business partner, Roxanne Whitty. And through our conversations over the years and continuing conversations, they've been the source of inspiration for formulating key story ideas and also refining them and editing them in the process of writing them. And certainly an amazing spouse and partner, Trudy Wiedewilt. She's constantly pushing me outside of my comfort zone, which enhances that growth that I've been experiencing, and I'm so grateful for that. In addition to her incredible skill at proofreading and copy editing, making the stories so much more readable. And thank you again for reading what I have to say. Kurt Vonnegut created a list of tips for writing short stories, and his first tip is don't waste your reader's time. And that's been part of my goal, and I hope I have never wasted your time. And I trust that I haven't, because here you are still with me, and I thank you for that. Another aspect of this project has been to kind of figure out the Substack platform and other various ways of distributing what I'm writing. Substack over the year has become kind of like just another social media platform. If you have the app or you go to the website, they work with an algorithm that's determining what they're feeding you and how frequently or how likely you are to see the tale that I publish that week. So that's part of the reason why I've encouraged readers to actually subscribe to Spawning Fish Tales, even if it's a free subscription, because then the story comes directly to your email inbox and is bypassing that Substack clutter. So thank you if you've already subscribed, and a special thank you for the growing number of you who are taking out paid subscriptions. I've activated the paid subscription because I'm looking for an understanding as to how Substack uses that as another way of managing their algorithm. Now, I'm not looking to get rich in this process, but knowing that you are subscribing is helping to confirm that you value what I have to say. And in a similar way, that's also why I've been doing some of the audio versions of the stories, to again see how Substack takes that information and manages the algorithm to keep Spawning Fishtails relevant. So it's still kind of a work in progress, and it's still an experimentation, but I hope that's additional content that you're enjoying. Let me know if you have, whether you've listened to those audio versions or if you didn't even know that they were there. Let me know down in the comments as to what your thoughts are on that. In that way, I'm also trying to figure out additional bonus content, if that is relevant to you or even necessary to you. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say, because the thing that's kind of bugging me is that people are reading less. And I guess shouldn't be surprising to me. It's been a trend over decades. But the fun thing about reading is that it's kind of like time travel in so many ways, because those words connect you to a writer that wrote those words maybe centuries ago, thousands of years ago if you're reading Homer, or yesterday if you're reading the newspaper. And that sense of connection, that personal, intimate connection with that writer in your own imagination, in your own mind, is really valuable. And coming from someone who grew up and was trained in film and video tends to water that down. And what you can imagine from a written word is way richer than any filmmaker can produce on the screen. And my hope is that we can get back more to that written word, which is what I hope my contribution to this process adds. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What ideas do you have for additional content or additional ways of telling these tales? What have been some of your favorite stories that you've read over the last year? And what other thoughts do you have as you've been reading it, or you've been reading other stuff and you're interested in sharing with me? I'm interested in what you have to say, because that makes my process and my exploration in this richer in the course of understanding how you're experiencing my process too. So I thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week with another fun tale in a kind of an interesting format that I think you'll like, and I look forward to sharing that with you next week. So until then, have a great week, and I'll see you then.